The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
BronxNet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
Welcome to Open 2.0. I'm your host, Robert Baez. Started by the mother of an 11-year-old cancer survivor, Princess for a Lifetime is an organization that works to bring smiles to children's faces in a unique way. We are pleased to be joined today by President and founder Tynesha Hendricks and Marisol Hendricks. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you. So, what exactly is Princess for a Lifetime?
A Princess for a Lifetime is a nonprofit organization dedicated to children with an illness within the hospital and in our community.
So, what inspired you to start it?
Marisol did while she was being treated in the hospital for cancer. For those 3 years, I basically did whatever I could to make her forget that we was in there battling her illness. And after we finished, she asked me to continue that for other kids. So that's what Princess for a Lifetime is about today.
So you're a cancer survivor?
Yes.
How did it impact you personally?
Well, it actually made me stronger, and it made me love more and interact more with kids.
So, how did you convince other kids to join this organization?
I told them to get happy, and how would you feel to make other kids happy?
So, does the organization have any goals towards, just any goals, period?
Well, our goal is to make sure that we touch as many lives as we could. And another goal is that we expand to touch people within other countries, other states, to make sure that everyone gets the joy of happiness of Princess for a Lifetime.
So, what role does this organization have in the community?
A positive role, that we're trying to change families within the hospital that are suffering, that when they're in there for hours, not only the children but the parents, that they could just get a day of interacting, doing arts and crafts, days of make-believe, days just to uplift your spirits.
So how much of an impact do you think this has on the parents?
A lot, because the parents are grateful that they get to see their kids smiling out of bed. Just a laugh is a positive for them.
Can you name some experiences that you had at hospitals or at some events?
Sure. We also at the hospital, we do like arts and crafts, and that arts and crafts is basically when all the children could come out and do activities. And every year we've been doing, me and Marisol get to be involved in the sarcoma walk. So that's a good experience, because some of the children that we can't see and that are survivors or that are off treatment are able to come out and do activities within Van Cortlandt Park. So that's a good experience as well.
Is there a way that you can reach out to each kid individually, or in any way possible?
Well, we try to reach out when they log on to us and reach out to us, because due to the fact that we're in the hospital, there's a certain protocol that we can't ask certain questions. But families and people in the community are always welcome to reach out to us via Facebook, email, different things like that.
So do the doctors or anybody that works at the hospital, do they have any input on what goes on?
Not with Princess for a Lifetime, but due to the fact that when we cater to the children, mostly it's the child life. The child life knows the children so much that they're with them day in and day out. So they're the one who reach out to Princess for a Lifetime to let us be aware that we cater to them.
All right, so this is a question for Marisol now. Do you currently have a role with Princess for a Lifetime?
Yes.
And can you explain the role you have?
Yes, I have a role, but I'm the mini boss. I get the arts and crafts ready. I get the dresses prepared, I get the accessories prepared, I get the crowns.
So what feeling goes through your head when you see other kids participating and you just see them having fun?
It gives me tears of joy. It makes me happy to see them smile.
So
is it just for cancer survivors, or is it just any child that has an illness?
It's any children fighting a battle of illness. You could have chronic asthma, and sometimes you don't need to be in the hospital 2 weeks. So it's any child battling an illness.
Okay, so now, is there one specific experience in hospital that like sticks out to you the most?
Yes, and it wasn't really even in the hospital. It was at the Ronald McDonald House. Me and another volunteer, Mr. Raymond Carroll, we had to go at the last minute for a child that was escorted out of the hospital to be dressed up for us. And sometimes the experience are not always as we expected, but that opportunity gave us to dress up a child that was battling cancer, and her mother got the opportunity to see her smile and have so much joy, and then she passed away about 2 days later. So that experience was good for the parent to see her dressed up and just feeling that one moment of love.
All right, so just with you, what makes Princess for a Lifetime unique?
Well, what makes Princess for a Lifetime is unique is to see the kids happy and to see them not think about the cancer.
Okay, so as you know, the kids are in the hospital, and how do you get the feeling of them being in this bleak area? How do you get that out of their mind? Like when they're
getting it out of the mind is basically I lived through it as a mother, so I think of it as being like a parent, making them have games, toys. The dress up makes them feel like whoever they want to be for a day. So I give them the same experience I would give Marisol, is just to forget about what we're going through and just let's have fun, let's enjoy the moment.
Do you work with any other leaders or groups or anything?
Like as Princess for a Lifetime?
Yes.
Well, we don't work with other groups, but we do have a partnership with KIDS. That's a sponsor that gives us all the supplies to go into the hospital to cater to the children. And we reach out to other non-for-profits and the community that would like to help us in our mission.
So how do you reach out towards the kids that are living in New York City to let them know that this organization exists?
Well, we reach out to the staff and the doctors within the hospital, and we like to put up pamphlets and our brochures, letting the community know that this is what we're offering to children that are suffering an illness within the hospital and in our community.
All right. So how can people get involved?
People could get involved through our website at princessforalifetime.org, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Everything is basically under Princess for a Lifetime, either .org, Yahoo, and they can even reach out through today's show, through having this moment with you.
So how do you think some of the kids in hospital, how do you think they would be without this organization?
Well, I think they wouldn't be as happy as they would, and I don't think they would remember that.
All right. So what do you see the organization doing in the future, or how do you see it in the future?
I see Princess for a Lifetime growing, expanding to give this day of happiness and make-believe to children across the world in different states, to families that are finished their treatment within their home. We want to mail packages to anyone in need.
So, do you have any events coming up for the organization at all? Or?
Yeah, we have events coming up within the hospital and outside. We always look for volunteers. We have an event coming up on January 23rd that would be in Bronx, Lebanon, and that'll be an activity table where we cater to the children within the hospital. January 25th, we'll be in Poe Park, which is the museum. We'll be doing the activity event for the community. And on February 23rd, we'll have our fundraiser, which would be a Zumba event in Lucille Roberts in Parkchester from 1 to 3 p.m. So any and all people are welcome, and if anybody chooses to volunteer, they could always reach out to us.
Once more, how can parents of kids in these hospitals, how can they reach out to you to get them to be involved in the organization, or get the kids to be part of it?
They could reach out via email or through our Facebook page. The email would be princessforalifetime@yahoo.com, and Facebook is Princess for a Lifetime as well.
All right, so this question is from Marisol now. This organization, how much has it helped you, to be honest?
It has helped me a lot by showing me that there is a chance for those kids to fight and for them to feel happy and not just sit in that bed, just sick.
Well, it's been a real honor having you two on the show. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time for more Open 2.0.
when they show excerpts of the Bronx in a minute and a half, what they essentially did was they disrespected us in the Bronx. They erased 2.5 decades of hard work by elected officials, by community leaders, community organizations. We're so tired of being depicted in a negative light. There's so much wonderful things happening here, from our cultural institutions to our parks, our beach, our restaurants, and that's what we want people in the world to see.
The Bronx, 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 the Bronx.
Here to take you on a journey, tell you where I'm from. Yeah, the boogie down Bronx like Harris one. Let's start a revolution and shine like the sun. This is a movement, I march to the drum. Who doesn't know the Yankees, the great franchise, and the pioneers of hip-hop, the Furious Five. We built to survive, see the fire in my eyes. Take a walk in the X, feel the streets come alive. Forward them the point, see I'm proving my point. Grand Concourse, Sound View, let's rejoice. Feel the vibe in my voice, I do this for the people. The home of the best, headlines for the press.
B to the O, to the O, to the N, X, to the B, to the O, to the O, and X, to the B, to the O, to the O, and X, to the B, to the O, to the O,
The world
and
revolves
X.
around the Bronx, they just don't know it. So we made it a hot song for the people to take notice. Some of the most influential people came from this borough, like Colin Powell, Ralph Lauren, and Al Pacino. Who doesn't enjoy a good book from Edgar Allan Poe? Or how about some good music from Luther Vandross? You can be who you want to be if you from out here. Supreme Court judge, like Sonia Sotomayor. There may be struggles, but there's love in my borough. And if you're from here, anywhere else you're throwing. We some hard-working people in a city that never sleeps. And we started the music where the world moves their feet.
B to the O, to the O, to the N, X.
Whenever somebody speaks negatively of the borough, defend your borough. Defend where we come from. Defend how beautiful it is. Defend all of the assets that we have here.
I've always been annoyed by the people who say, oh, the Bronx. It just annoys me. It still annoys me. And I say there are 3 places in the world with "the" in front of it. The Vatican, The Hague, and the Bronx.
The Bronx and I have been through some bad times and some good times, and boy, the good times are definitely here.
Be proud of where you came from, because I always was. Everybody, I think a lot of people are like, oh well, I'm from, and they always make something up. I was always proud of where I was from, and always came back home.
It's always wonderful to come back to the Bronx. Before I was Maria from Sesame Street, I like to tell people I was Sonia from the Bronx, and I just love to come back and see it growing and changing the way it has been.
Because you got a lot of guys coming up now, thinking that they rapping or thinking that they really doing something. And if you lived in the Bronx, if you're supposed to be talking about the streets that you grew up in, if you didn't write nothing about that Bronx Zoo, and if you didn't write nothing about that beloved Yankee Stadium, then you definitely wasn't rapping about representing the Bronx where I come from. So long live the Bronx.
I do have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, but the Bronx Walk of Fame means a heck of a lot more than that for me.